Hey folks, welcome to the channel. Recently we took a trip out to Colorado. It was a wonderful time. I asked Karyn what she wanted to do for her birthday, and she said, I want to go to Durango, Colorado. So Durango, Colorado, and a train ride is what we did. Come on and join us on our venture. Here we are, we're kind of leaving the town of Durango. This is kind of a rural area. And it's just a great ride. The temperatures were cool, jacket weather. Back in Texas it was 100 degrees. Here it was 60 maybe. This is a shot where you're leaving the rural area and you're going into the national forest. Just amazing scenery. Absolutely beautiful. The majority of the ride ran along the river. Here you can see some Class 4 and Class 5 rapids. Before we arrived, they had some tremendous rainstorms days before. Several storms. The water is up really high. It's pretty dark. They said just the week before the water was crystal clear. Our elevation at this point here is somewhere around 8,000 feet above sea level. Durango is somewhere around 6,000, and I think towards the end of the train ride we got somewhere near a little over 10,000. We did go by Mount Garfield, not made of lasagna, which is over 15,000 feet above sea level. Some of the shots you might be able to pick up, there's some snow-capped mountains in the area. This is June. Completely different than Texas weather. More stills, a bunch of stills. I took more pictures than I did video. I have to apologize for that. I need more batteries to take with me for the GoPro. You can see just unbelievable scenery. It just the pictures do it no justice. The trees were just so nice and thick. Beautiful birch and aspens. They get that nice white bark on it from the freezing temperatures in the winter. Even the waterfalls and the creeks were up high. There's a beautiful waterfall. You can see how fast the creek is running. This is a little out of sequence. This was right before we got to the national forest here. We're just hitting the elevations. We did the open car. As you can see the people sitting here. It was really it was much nicer than the closed car systems. I'm glad we didn't do that, because then you only have a small window to look out. This way you get to look around, kind of lean in and out. They don't want you to lean out too far, because you're going to see further up here that you get a little close to the mountain. This was the only portion where we crossed over the river, and it was on the other side. But as you can see, you can get up and walk around. They have a food car right back there, and just grab yourself a drink, something to eat, enjoy the company of the other people over here. We had a really nice time. What really amazed me is, you're going to see when we get up here, we're really close to the sides of the rock walls. These tracks were put in the 1800s, so these things were dug out by hand, and explosives, and move stuff with horses and mules. It's really quite the feat when you think about it. And they just maintain it year after year after year. But you can see, like, this is solid rock. Somebody with a pickaxe, a shovel, and dynamite did all this work. There was a stop up ahead. We had to refill the water tanks. This is an old steam engine. Heat up the water, create the pressure from the steam, and away you go. It's not just for the whistle. It was definitely one of the highlights. Just such a nice area, such a nice day. We did the half day. We took the shuttle back. Here's where we're coming into Silverton. It opens up. It's a larger valley. Nice little town. Other than paint, you can pretty much just look at the place and say this was it when it was a silver mine back in the 1800s. These were the buildings. But it wasn't just a train ride. We got out, plenty of delicious meals, hit the pubs, the scenery, the hiking. We got the microbrews. Again, we hit the saloons. Starting to see a beer theme. Didn't pick up on that earlier. This is one of the old saloons. Just a good time. Very good time. High altitude, of course. Makes your feet swell. We didn't see a Bigfoot. It's the river right behind our hotel. And then once you got outside of Durango, you start to see, the lower lands and the desert landscaping, the beautiful rockscapes. We hit the Four Corners. So Karyn did a little run, 5 seconds. She ran through 4 states. Fastest she'll ever be. A little storm rolling in on the flats. And then eventually, 5 days later, we were back in Crush, leaving Colorado, through New Mexico. Here we entered back into Texas. We've had the dogs at the dog spa for 5 days, so we're getting ready to end our journey. We got to pick up those pampered pups and get them home, get cleaned up, and get back to our lives. Appreciate you coming along for the ride. Plenty more videos to come. Take care.